Hey everybody, this is Grace. In this video, I just want to talk about a decision Adam and I made. Really, we made it firm yesterday, I guess, or maybe the day before. I don't know. And it's about going back to having our groceries and everything that else that we would need or could get delivered, have it delivered. Now, I think it's been around 2 months that we haven't been doing it. He had gotten his shots to the arm back in April, and this is the end of June, June 25th actually, 2021. And so he was doing it. I don't have mine. I have an adrenal disorder, and I'm going to be seeing a doctor within the next couple of months or so, and we'll see what she or whomever they get me with this time, what they say, about me getting vaccinated. So anyway, the reason we changed our decision was because we've been hearing so much about the Delta variant. The Delta variant. I mean, we'd heard about one before, but this one is kind of scary, and all of them are scary. This one's just scarier, I should say. And so we made that decision. Like I said, he had been going and buying the groceries, and he was the one that let's just change back, because he's the one that's doing it too. I have not been in a grocery store. I was in one once, not to buy anything, because I had traveled. He had been in the hospital. I had traveled to Dallas, and I needed to use the restroom. Yeah, and while he was in the doing a follow-up at the hospital, Anyway, that was the only one time. It was like, I was scared. That was earlier this year. But anyway, I think I had it back in last year, 2020, February 2020. So, but I don't know. Hopefully, maybe I'll get a test, and if they can still, they said they could do that test still to see. But anyway, that's a little background here. The thing about this is, why we changed our mind was because of that, and to start having things delivered. But I was the one that was doing all the ordering online, and he would just basically go out and get the bags and put them on the kitchen table. That's how we worked it out. And I would go through and wash everything that you could wash that wouldn't ruin it, and he'd help put them up and stuff like that. But I had been watching some close to the end of it. We'd been doing it since we actually, I think, started testing it out in 2018, maybe at the end of it or something. And just every once in a while we do it, and until last year we'd have everything delivered. So in 2020, after all those things, we made that decision. But anyway, at the end of I guess April or so, I had been watching these people that get on YouTube and talk about they are the what are they? The workers, the delivery. Some of them are gig workers. They do more than one, and the shoppers. Some of them are shoppers that actually go and do the shopping and deliver it. Now, when I first started doing them, I didn't know how they were done. I still don't know how some of them are done. There's different apps and through different services and stuff. But we kept having so many problems, and with them actually delivering it. And I don't know who did it. Like, one of them would get cans of food. You order cans of food, whatever. They'd come all crunched. It was like they hit it purposefully more than one time. Seriously, like they hit it up against a wall or something several times, because cans don't go like that unless they're hit really hard. And this would happen several times. Not just like this one delivery. There's one. They do it. Not all of them, but there's one. Months later, another one. Something like that. Just cans. And I'd report it, and I said, finally, I told them, told the store that I did it through their app. I said, I'm going to change stores. They wouldn't let me. It said it's auto-generated and blah, 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 and you have to go through the store, through this one store. I'm like, really? Okay. I might as well say which store it was. It was Walmart. Okay. Walmart, the Instacart is the other one, and there are other ones, but Instacart and Walmart are the two main ones in this area. And, Walmart goes through Doordash, right? Anyway, but the app was Walmart and the app is Instacart, the main ones, like I said. And they said they can't change it. And I called and confirmed it again, but we could do the pickup if we picked it up at a different location. Well, Adam was doing that since, we hadn't changed our mind. Now we had to change it back. I'm not going to do it because I'm not going to get, it wasn't the price of it. No, can of food, really, like, I'm talking like 50 cents or something like that. It was that when you're trying to meal plan and you're ordering these things and they come crunched up, and one of them, I don't know if it was from that one or the other one, but the delivery person seemed like they blew cigar smoke into the bag. Okay. Ugh, it was awful. But we kept having so many problems. I could go on and on. In fact, I have several videos that I've, not only on this channel, this is my kind of throw stuff in channel. It's not what I use very often. Mainly more recently for this topic. And anyway, so many problems, so many issues. So when we made that decision, I was like, well, wait a minute now. Which one do we have the problem with and we weren't going, and why? You would think I would remember, but I didn't. It's kind of like I'm already having to get back into the groove of that, and you would think it would be easy because it's just been like around 2 months. You would think that. I thought that. But no, it was that whole thing of having, because we did a lot of going to drive-through, and he would go and get, because we had done it so long, he started going and getting drive-through or restaurant pickup, stuff like this. And now we're stopping that too. So it's all going to be cooking. So I have to go and, remind myself. This is probably not going to take that long, but still, make sure I take something out, make sure I meal plan. Yeah. But anyway, it's like now life is going to be turned back topsy-turvy, whichever one it is. And if you're looking at that brick wall in front of me, I noticed this when I just started doing these videos like that yesterday or day before I think. And, instead of the shrubs. And I like this, but but I noticed when I looked at my own videos that if I stare at that, you can't tell, sometimes it looks like the middle part is coming outward, and sometimes it looks like the middle part is going inward. It's kind of neat, don't you think? Yeah. But okay, now we had, like I said, we had so many issues and everything, and I was getting to this point where I was going to talk about watching these people on YouTube who are the delivery gig workers, the delivery shoppers, both, okay. And some of the videos, not all of them, some of them have such bad attitudes. Like, I have so many videos about that. Such horrible attitudes about the customer, and the customer owes them so much entitlement. No, the customer's entitled to good service. Yeah. The customer is not entitled to give you a tip until after you provide the service. And I can go on. Like I said, I have plenty of videos. So but that wasn't the thing that is bothering me now. Well, it is, but here's something new. Is that as I kept watching them, since then over time, I kind of like some of them. But the ones I like, they still have that kind of attitude. A little bit of an attitude. But I can't handle ones that have a lot of an attitude, But I watch them, and I saw one of them actually stick her finger inside of her ear and roll it around the whole ear. And I'm like, she's not doing it on purpose. I can tell it's not something purposely, it's just a habit of hers. And before that, I saw ones that would go and put their hands through their hair, and you could tell that they were hot and sweaty, and or even saying it. And they would run their hands through their hair, and that was like gross. Really. When you say gross, if you were in a restaurant, well, now these days maybe that's not a good idea at all. But before 2020, you're in a restaurant and the waiter or waitress was rolling their finger around their ear and putting their hands in their hair, and that wasn't all. How about coughing over the back of food? Coughing at this time? Now, wouldn't you, if you're a gig worker watching this, wouldn't you be saying, that's gross. That's really gross. Okay. Yeah, and then just to think, of course they don't have their hands inside of your food, but it's still coughing like over the bag, just delivering it, and you're going to be opening it with your hands when somebody had just stuck their finger in their ear. You see, it's gross. Or running their hands through their greasy, oily hair, or putting it on their face. They really need, and wearing gloves is not going to make a difference if you're going to do the same thing. Well, there might be a difference. I'm not a health professional, but still, gross. I had one time. The guy, had delivery one time. The guy must have messed it up, and he didn't know. He must have had 2 orders, and it seemed like he didn't know if he was delivering mine or somebody else's. And wanted me to come outside the door. It was leave it door. Mine are all leave it door. And he wanted me to come outside and go through all of them. It was a big order, too. But go through them and see if it's all mine. They were sitting on the ground. I'm like, and I'm not going to do that. And here he is standing outside yelling. He's around my age, by the way. Yelling over my bags. Not wearing a mask. And at the time, masks were mandatory in Texas, which is where I live, and from what I understand, by the service that they are delivering through, the subcontractors. I know they like to call themselves contractors, and I think they even let them call them that, but they're really subcontractors. I was a subcontractor in something else, way back in the 80s. But yeah, anyway, I had wanted to make this very short, but I guess I need to make this one, maybe after this it'll be short, but just to give a little more background, and that's what we're doing. So I'll be talking about that. This is my pressure release valve for all these things. There's so much going on in my own life right now that this is just a pressure release valve for this thing. I have other channels, like I said. But I worry about this because where I live, it has a reputation. I did not give it the reputation. It had it before I moved here, before I even heard of the place. That these are people who have a high sense of entitlement, live here. And go on down the line, the narcissistic behaviors. And I can tell you, I've lived in many places, many states, several states, many places. Yeah, of course it's not everybody, but it's kind of thick. It's kind of part of the culture. And so I'll be talking in other videos about all these things. Maybe. Anyway, I'm wrapping this up.